Hello, my name is Tanesh Ravankar. Welcome back to my video series on learning to play the violin. And this segment, I'm going to talk to you about getting ready for your positions or getting into positions. What am I talking about here? I'm talking about the positions on your violin fingerboard. These positions are like the mental map to help you in terms of your shifting, because you have to know where you're going to go to get there. Plus, you also have to know the tonation. In other words, what it sounds like before you actually shift. Those two things are key and critical. So how do you do this? Well, first of all, let's start with the first position. All beginners start in the first position. Now this video is kind of meant for intermediate students because they're the ones who are going to actually do the shifting itself. Beginning students will be basically at the very beginning here, okay? So the first place shifting, first position is this. Wherever your index finger, that is your guide, is going to land. On the G string, it's going to be on the note A. The D is going to be on the E. On the A string, it's going to be on the B. And on the E string, it's going to be on the F sharp. These are all considered first positions because that is where my index finger is at. Now, what happens when I go to the second step? I'm going to put first position here, first finger, second finger, which is second position, and then finally I'm going to put down third finger, which is the third position. The fourth finger, of course, extends up here, and that is called the fourth position. So that's your basic laydown of the positions, the first four positions here. So when does shifting come into play? Shifting comes into play when I'm trying to play the third position here with my first finger. So how do I go about doing that? Well, this is where the mechanics of shifting takes place. So let me just demonstrate to you on the G string here. If I place it on my first finger, second, third, that's my target goal, is the third position. And notice I'm trying to remember the tone. Now here's where the siren or the emergency technique comes into play. When I'm trying to shift from my first finger all the way up to the third finger, I'm going to approximate it. And many of you will do this. That's what's called the siren technique. Sounds kind of irritating, but it's your way of trying to find and isolate that particular sound. You can even drop down a little bit, lift your fingers up, slide back down, place all three on the fingerboard. Get that sound in, and then shift upwards. Then upward. Just like so, okay? This is what's called third position. First finger in the third position here. From here, I can actually reach other notes. Now keep in mind one thing. My elbow is way over onto the side. Not underneath here, over here. My thumb is on the bottom. But notice, my whole arm moved as one single unit. I can extend it to the higher position. Okay? But those are for later pieces that you might encounter. Now let me do the same thing with the D string. Let's check and find out. There you go. That's the third finger, third position. First finger shifted up. And there's the basis for your shifting technique. The whole arm moves, bringing everything. Notice my thumb is underneath. It's not clamped down super hard. It's relaxed enough that I can still move quite nicely in between. Now, you may be wondering, when do I need to shift? And that all depends upon the musical piece you're playing. If you're a beginner student, all the notes are going to be right down here in first position because your hand is closest to the scroll. But as you get higher up, you're going to be dealing with a lot of notes that start up here. And that's for a different lesson entirely. But for the most part, what you want to practice is this. Placing one finger down like so, and making sure your fingers appear like this, like a box. 1, 2, 3. And then understanding the tone, shifting up, and isolating that, anchoring it down. Okay? So that is how you do the basis of shifting. So if you like this video and you're learning from it, I would appreciate you clicking on the subscribe button down below and hit the notification bell. I invite you to see my next video which is going to be called how to downshift, and also how to really figure out when you're supposed to shift on the violin, because that's the next most complicated thing. When do you know when to shift? Sometimes it's not that easy. Sometimes the music can give you a clue. Okay? Thank you very much, and hope to see you again.